Hi there, Prairie Plant Girl here. So I wanted to bring you into my little grow room here today and just give you a quick update on the potatoes that I'm growing in pots here inside my grow room. So I'm going to bring you in a little bit closer and let you have a look. But first I'm going to get rid of these insect traps. I have a little bit of a fungus gnat thing going on, so get those out of the way so you don't have to look at them, and then I'll bring you in. So just give me a minute. So, like I said, I just wanted to give you a little update on how these potatoes are going. Last time I showed you this, I believe I just had this one coming up here, this one larger one. And so I had filled up the soil a little bit in this pot to bring it up to about the mid-level of the pot. And this pot was showing me nothing. There was no signs of growth or anything. That was a few weeks ago. And now there's definitely some growth happening here. It's been about 6 weeks since I planted these. Was November the 22nd, I believe, when I planted these. And they were just little tiny nubs. Most of them were only about this, like just a very small marble size. And then the one I think that must have grown first was a little bit larger one, but maybe twice the size of the others. And there was, I believe, 4 in this pot and 3 in this pot, if I have them correct. So I think you can see here, there's vermiculite on top of here. And that's just a few centimeters, an inch or so of vermiculite. And that's just, again, because I just have been having a little bit of fungus gnats take over in here a little, and I didn't get on top of it soon enough. So this was just a way to put some dry media on top, just to help deter them from tunneling into the soil and laying their eggs. So being that I have some growth, I don't know if you could tell, there's the initial one that came up, and there's one right beside that I'm thinking is probably another separate potato. There's been nothing that I've seen over on this side in this pot. And then there's actually, I believe, all 4 coming up in this one. I don't know how well you could see that. There's one here, one here, one here, and there's a little tiny one down there. So I'm going to just try and scoop as much of the vermiculite off as I can and load these up with some more soil to bring them up pretty much to the top of the pot. These ones that get buried a little bit, they should be fine with that and just grow through. And we'll just keep going and see what happens. These are a Norland potato, so they're determinate. So putting the soil up, building the soil up probably isn't really necessary because they shouldn't be growing potatoes all the way along the stalk like an indeterminate potato would do. But being that if there's not a lot of space in this pot, and if they do start growing potatoes, just the size of the potatoes piling up in the spot may bring them up above soil level. So I just want to give them, and it'll make it easier to just kind of keep them moist when there's a bit more soil in there as well too. I've been just watering these from the bottom. I have a little tray underneath, and I just have one tray this size in the house. I don't know, I might have more outside, but I just have this one, so I've just been swapping them back and forth when they need water. But my job today is to get the vermiculite out of my way and then get a little bit of soil on top of here. So that's what I'm going to be working on. So there, most of that out of that pot. I'm just going to work what's left just into the layer of soil there, and it won't be a problem to have that in there. I just didn't want a whole layer of it. So this one will be a little trickier because it's deeper down. I'm trying to put together another video of what you can do when you have fungus gnats. I left them too long before I decided to get dealing with them here. So it's a really good example of what you can do when you have a pretty bad infestation that you're trying to clear up. So I'm trying to put that together, and hopefully I'll have that out in the next month or so. So again, I'm just scratching the last remaining vermiculite into the soil a little bit. And we'll get some more growing medium out to fill these up. In case you missed my other videos about these potatoes, what I'm growing them in is just a mix of peat moss, Canadian peat moss, and perlite. That's all it is. There's no nutrition in it, but it will hold moisture well without staying sopping wet. It's nice and loose. It is a nice media to grow in, and it tends to be weed free. So there, I've pretty much have this pot filled to the top. And this one's getting close to that now. Now the very smallest little shoot is buried down underneath the soil right now, and this one's close to buried, but it should be fine. It should find its way out. It'll just give a little bit more for these guys to kind of anchor into a little bit too. I'm gonna put these back over and get some light going on them. They're just sitting in front of my grow lights shelving. They're too tall. I could rearrange my shelving, but I don't think it's that important to get them right under the lights. They're right growing kind of in front of the lights here, and then I have just an LED that's been clamped on them, and the clamp light that's been shining on them as well, just to give them a little extra. And they're getting about 14 hours of light a day. When I water them about once a month, I've been giving them just a generic organic-based all-purpose fertilizer, so nothing too special. I believe when I planted them, I mixed a little bit of bone meal into the growing medium, but I didn't do that now. I can always scratch some in if I feel that they need that later on, but I'm impressed with how green and strong the growth is. Like, it's tight together. Even this one here, they don't look like they're really stretching for light, other than when they're way deep down in the pot, they're kind of stretching up a little bit. But once they get up here, like, they're really full and looking good. So I think they're growing away about where I would expect potatoes to be growing in pots or even in the ground if I had them outside. So I'm going to keep going with this, and I'll keep you updated. We probably won't check back on them now until into February, and who knows, by then I might even be able to get a little bit of a harvest. That should take me to about 3 months, and we'll see. Maybe we can get something out of these, but keep following along. I have a few other things growing in here that I'm going to be bringing you updates on in the next few weeks. And like I said, I'm working on something about the fungus gnat control, so if that's something you're interested, then make sure to check back and see when that comes out. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.